there's lots of ways that we have been asleep. When you're asleep, it's like, you don't realize that you're not active, right? You're unaware of what's going on around you. There is a time to sleep, but there's a time to wake up. And now is the time. God is saying that this is the time to wake up. So let's go back to the beginning in Numbers 29, verse 1, where God commands his people to recognize this day. Okay, he says in Numbers 29, verse 1. He also says it in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24. But I'm going to read Numbers 29, verse 1. It says, and in the seventh month, and on the first day of the month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. For it is a day, or for you, it is a day of blowing the trumpet. So go back and look that up yourself. Don't just take my word for it. And this is the day to really reverence God, to go back to church. Well, this is the season. So our church is going to be meeting, not really our church, but there is a going to be a meeting on Saturday that we're going to call that day Rosh Hashanah. And we're going to gather together and we're going to talk about what God is sharing with us, what God has put on our hearts regarding this season, and how we should walk in wisdom in this season, because the time is short. And so, the time is short. So this is the day that we are to reverence God, to go back to church, or to gather together, to be awakened by God's spiritual alarm clock. So the question is, are you awake? Do you need to listen to hear God's spiritual alarm clock? The answer for everybody should be yes. I don't care if you really think you are awake, or maybe you might think you're woke. I don't know. But the answer is, regardless of whether you think you're awake, or you know you're awake, or you know you're asleep, all of us need to listen to God's spiritual alarm clock. He's always saying something. And let's hear what he's saying about the sound of the trumpet. Why does he command his people to listen to the sound of the trumpet? Well, the trumpet, again, I said, is made of a ram's horn, and it makes this piercing sound. And there are lots of ways to describe it, but I like to say it like jolts you awake. And because God commanded his people to listen to it, it reminds you that God is speaking. He has something he wants you to say. He wants you to pay attention.